Welcome to Raw. We are back live from the Bank Atlantic Center in Sunrise, Florida. And last week, Shawn Michaels delivered a bit of sweet chin music to the legend killer Randy Orton. And yet now they have a date with Destiny at Backlash. No, I'm not doing the meme. But Shawn Michaels will go one-on-one with the legend killer. Because Randy Orton falling up short at WrestleMania 21 against The Undertaker. Shawn Michaels falling up short against Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 21. It's an interesting dynamic, but one that needs resolving. It's a very short-bursted and explosive feud that unfolded just a couple of weeks ago here on Monday Night Raw. Last week on Raw, I watched Randy Orton beat Rob Van Dam. And then I walked down to that ring and I hit him with the three best words. Sweet chin music right in the middle of his face, because I had a message for the so-called legend killer. Now you've been walking around here calling yourself the legend killer like you're some kind of big deal. Let me tell you something, Orton. You still haven't put me on that list, and that is because you can't. That super kick last week wasn't just a cheap shot. It was a message that the showstopper is still here. And I'm not going to be another name on your resume. I'm going to be the one who ends this whole legend killer gimmick. At Backlash, you and I are going one-on-one, and when that bell rings, I'm going to show everyone why I'm still the most exciting man in this business, and why your little legend killer era is about to come to a screeching halt. You can keep talking about all the legends that you've beaten, but when you step in the ring with me, the showstopper, Mr. WrestleMania, you're going to find out what a real legend looks like. And it ain't you, kid. It's the Heartbreak Kid. So enjoy it for tonight, Orton, because at Backlash this weekend, the showstopper is going to stop your momentum cold. And when I'm done with you, the only thing that people will remember about the legend killer is that he got his ass handed to him by me, an old man. And that's right, I am still that showstopper. I am still the most charismatic man in this business. And at Backlash, I'm going to prove it one more time. So get ready, Randy Orton, because this is where your story ends. And Randy Orton with a sucker punch. I didn't think that Randy Orton would agree with Shawn Michaels, but it is an eye for an eye, an attack for an attack. Randy Orton is lining it up. RKO. HBK may have laid the gauntlet, but you are never wise enough to slither away from somebody who dines with destiny. The Viper lays out the show. And it is confirmed for Backlash, folks. Randy Orton, Shawn Michaels, the showstopper versus the legend killer. It's coming at the weekend in Universe mode. I'll let you know when it's coming officially with SummerSlam. With SummerSlam being this weekend. Christian defends his new Intercontinental Championship against the former champion, Shelton Benjamin. That's live on Backlash. Also, Edge versus Kane. Mr. Money in the Bank versus the Big Red Machine. Who will walk out of Backlash still with their dignity intact? And it's our main event. It's Triple H, Batista 2. The World Heavyweight Championship is on the line. Can Triple H prove that Batista's win at WrestleMania 21 was one great night? And we're going to continue the action, and we're going to kick off the action in the ring here tonight, folks, with tag team title competition. Well, we haven't seen these two gentlemen since Triple H left them laid out on the canvas a couple of weeks ago. Well, he laid Rosie out on the announcer's desk, but we've got the Hurricane and Rosey taking on the WWE World Tag Team Champions, William Regal and Tajiri, here tonight in Florida. And thank you for joining us. Thank you for inviting us into your homes. We got 17,500 fans in the building, in the Bank Atlantic Center here in Sunrise for Monday Night Raw. And here comes the Japanese Buzzsaw. Because these two gentlemen held the tag team titles for a while now, looking for some real competition. And Hurricane and Rosey may have got wiped out by the game, the Cerebral Assassin, but I guess Bischoff's feeling rather generous tonight. These two tag teams are going to go 2-on-2, mano a mano for the World Tag Team Championships. Of course, if you do only watch Raw, I would recommend watching SmackDown. You'll know that Eminem are debuting this coming week on Friday Night SmackDown, where Eminem, a relatively unknown entity, take on the team of Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio for the WWE Tag Team Championships. Their relationship has been somewhat severed. Have to see if they can be on the same page. But tonight the focus is on the World Tag Team Championships, introducing them into the fold post WrestleMania 21. And we're just waiting for the Master of Ceremonies to announce that this is a championship match. The referee will hoist the tag titles above his shoulder to represent that this is a tag team title match. Of course, a lot of focus here on the tag team division on Monday Night Raw and going forward on Friday Night SmackDown to be competitive with each other. Should Hurricane and Rosey score a pinfall or a submission, we will see the title change hands here tonight. It's going to be a very, very interesting match, a very weird dynamic. Of course, Hurricane and Rosey very balanced. Hurricane seen more as the high flyer, whereas Rosey's more the powerhouse. Regal a technical masterclass, and the Japanese buzzsaw Tajiri can offer something interesting as well. He's got kicks that whip you like a government mule. Don't forget that tarantula submission hold. Well, the referee is signifying for the bell. It's going to be an interesting contest, 2-on-2. Rosie's going to start in the ring for Hurricane and Rosey. It's going to be Tajiri for the World Tag Team Champions. And we're underway. Well, if you're Tajiri, the size advantage, and slips behind Rosey here and just launched across the ring. Of course, Rosie is a powerhouse, no doubt. We saw Triple H 2 weeks ago put him through that announcer's desk here on Monday Night Raw in frustration. Of course, it might not have been something that you'd normally assume would get you a tag team championship shot, but that attack was unwarranted. The Japanese buzzsaw already spraying mist into the air. You've got to be careful that he doesn't use that in your face. That'll blind a man. Now Rosie going to work on Tajiri, a clothesline, taking down the Japanese buzzsaw and tagging to the superhero Hurricane. Good offense early on in this tag team matchup from the challengers Hurricane and Rosey. They're going to work. Tajiri with a reversal there. Of course, William Regal and Tajiri, formerly foes, now friends. It's an interesting dynamic, and a scoop slam from Tajiri. He's going to tag in his tag team partner. William Regal is the legal man. Regal going to go after the Hurricane now. And this crowd is very mixed towards Regal and Tajiri. Of course, they love Tajiri. Not so sure about Regal. Now Hurricane going to continue to go to work on one half of the World Tag Team Championships. That's an impressive exploding suplex there from the superhero. Going to tag Rosie back in the ring. Rosie now in the ring with William Regal. He's going to mix it up. Regal's going to have to use some of that technical masterclass to take down the giant that is Rosie, but Tajiri there coming in with the save. That maybe wasn't a wise move from the Japanese buzzsaw to enrage the Samoan Rosie. I don't know how smart that was. Sidewalk slam to Tajiri. Of course, he's not the legal man. Not that Rosie gives a damn. Of course, the attack from Triple H will have angered him, and a nice neck breaker there from Regal. Regal now going to put some offense down. Going to go for the pinfall here on Rosie. Tajiri still laid out in the ring. Interesting there. Now a collar and elbow tie-up Irish whip here from William Regal. Drop toe hold. Regal just celebrating his handiwork here in the ring. Because a veteran, no doubt, former WCW superstar as well. He's going to bring everything that he has to offer. A former commissioner as well. Commissioner Regal was a very interesting time in William Regal's career. Not sure how I feel about that time in his career, but he's come back to the ring, and now he's looking better than ever, I must say. Tajiri goes for a missile drop kick there, nobody home. Gets caught in a sidewalk slam by Rosie. Rosie now going to bring Tajiri back to his feet. Going to drag Tajiri over into the home corner. We might be about to see some tag team offense for the first time. And it's Hurricane and Rosie that are going to introduce that into this tag team contest. This is how you win a match, by the way, splash. Oh, God. That's like running into a steam train there. Rosie with a clothesline to Tajiri, who's just going to roll out. Taking down the tag team champion. And Hurricane looking at what could be. He's talking smack to Tajiri. I don't think William Regal likes Hurricane putting his hands on that tag team title. He's going to get involved and sending Hurricane off the edge of the ring apron there. Interesting dynamic here. I always find the Hurricane and Rosie a very interesting dynamic. This one's getting a bit messy and the referee's count is at 5. Tajiri and Hurricane are the legal men. They need to make it back inside the ring. And I know the referee's just counted 6-7. I don't want to see any memes. Hurricane now going to go to work on Tajiri. It's a 2-on-1 instance and a nice reversal into the Hurricanrana from the Japanese buzzsaw. The mist in the skies might be signifying for what's going to happen. But of course, don't forget, Hurricane has that mask. Would that count as protection? Who knows? Now Tajiri now, head of steam, throwing Hurricane and a dropkick into the turnbuckle. The Japanese buzzsaw might be looking for that buzzsaw kick. He didn't get all of it, and Hurricane certainly didn't receive all of it in Hurricanrana from the superhero. Elbow drop. He's adopted many moves from The Rock, interestingly, as the Hurricane. A kick to the leg there of Tajiri, and now some kicks for Hurricane's troubles. Oh my word. I think he might be unconscious. The superhero's gone. Rosie had to break that one up because I don't think Hurricane's still awake now. I think he's dreaming and counted sheep. Now Tajiri going to go after Rosie. That's not a wise idea from one half of the World Tag Team Champions. He needs to try and make a tag here to William Regal. But if you look on the side of your screen, Rosie's going to get involved and stop that tag. Tajiri desperately needs it. And Regal's now distracted. And a drop kick there from Hurricane. Tajiri might be in distance. No, sir. And into the steps goes Rosie on the outside. A super kick. I think I just caught one of Hurricane's teeth there. That was a terrible, terrible kick. And that brainbuster, the Japanese brainbuster. Regal and Tajiri retain the tag team titles. That was a fun match. Great competition here in the tag team division. And it was that moment. It was Rosie deviating away from his duties as a tag team partner to try and stop the tag from Tajiri to Regal that actually backfired. Hurricane got distracted, Hurricane got caught, and Hurricane got brainbusted. Well, expect much more from the tag team division here on Monday Night Raw going forward. The Hurricane and Rosie are going to have to start again, maybe. Tajiri and Regal continue to look as good as ever. He didn't need a buzzsaw kick today. He didn't need a tarantula. It just needed a brainbuster. And I have to say, I've been mightily impressed with these two in the tag team division. They've been very worthy world tag team champions. And I'm getting in my ear that we're going to hear from Lita, I believe, up next. That's going to be interesting. Because Kane and Edge go one-on-one at Backlash. I know Lita wants a shot at the Women's Championship. Let's hear what she's got to say. Well, here is Lita. She's beautiful as ever. But she's fierce as well. She's here with a message. She's here with a microphone in hand. What is Lita going to have to say to the WWE Universe? Look, I've fought my way through this women's division and I've proven time and time again that I'm one of the toughest women in this company. So Trish Stratus, if you're listening, I am coming for that women's championship. You've been hiding behind Edge and his Money in the Bank briefcase like that's going to protect you, but it won't. I don't care who you're aligned with. I'm still the one who deserves that next shot at your title. So Trish, I'm calling you out right here, right now. Give me a title match because I'm not going to wait any longer. I'm ready to take that burden off you, the championship I mean. Show everyone why I belong at the top of this women's division. Well, here comes the women's champion. She has been conniving with Edge recently, but it's going to be interesting to hear what she's going to have to say. And Lita wants the gold. Of course, Trish has beat Christy Hemme. She's beat Victoria. She's beat a lot of superstars. Let's hear what Trish has to say. Oh, please, Lita. You're out here demanding a title shot like you actually deserve one. I've already beaten you before, and I'll beat you again. Stop wasting my time with this little charade you're doing in the ring right here, right now. I beat Christy Hemme at WrestleMania 21. I beat Victoria 3 weeks ago on Raw. And there isn't a single woman on Raw or SmackDown that can touch me. So why the hell would I give some thong-wearing, well, you know what, a chance when I already know the outcome? Call me whatever names you want, Trish. I'm still standing here despite you trying to break my leg. I'm demanding a title shot, and you're hiding behind Edge and that briefcase because you know that I'm the one woman who can actually take that championship from you. That's why you tried to sideline me and break my leg. Newsflash, Edge is going to destroy your husband this weekend, Kane, at Backlash. I'm going to keep this title for as long as I want it. No match for you, Lita. Not now, not ever. So get out of my ring and stop making a goddamn fool of yourself. You can deny me all you want, but this isn't over, Trish. I'm not going anywhere. And sooner rather than later, you're going to have to face what's reality. The reality is me walking away with my women's championship. Well, here comes the general manager of Raw, finally showing his face. Hopefully he's got a resolution for this whole situation, because I want to hear one. Alright, that's enough. Both of you stop arguing right now. I've heard all I need to hear from the two of you, and I'm not going to let this continue to disrupt my show any longer. That's why I'm announcing that tonight in the main event of Raw, it will be a mixed tag team match. Lita, you'll team up with Kane, and you'll face Edge and Trish Stratus. There is some very, very high stakes attached to this match, so I want you both to listen very, very closely. If Lita and Kane win, then Lita earns a women's championship match against Trish Stratus at Backlash, and Kane will get to pick the stipulation for his match against Edge at Backlash. But, and yeah, there is a but. If Edge and Trish win, then Edge will choose the stipulation for Kane versus Edge at Backlash, and Trish, you will never have to defend the Women's Championship against Lita as long as you are champion. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The main event is set, and the stakes for all four of you mean something. Not one person in this tag team match can afford to lose. So I would recommend getting changed, taking off the heels, the earrings, getting in your gear, because that match is coming soon. You know what? I will call Eric Bischoff an SOB, a stupid idiot, whatever, a jackass, but that right there is the reason why Mr. McMahon has employed him as a general manager of Raw, to make decisions like that. And we've got a really good main event, and all four of them have something to fight for. But right now we're turning to an all-Canadian affair here. Lance Storm versus Chris Jericho. Now we know that Lance Storm is on the twilight of his career. He's mentioned that many times. With ECW One Night Stand coming up just a couple of months, or in a month or so's time, the former ECW man has chose to retire at ECW One Night Stand. So he will have one last hurrah tonight. He's looking at a show, and he said it in an interview backstage with Jonathan Coachman that he is still at the top of his game. It was always a dream of Lance Storm to go out at the top of his game. That's exactly what he's getting to do here. He's going to go one-on-one with Y2J, Chris Jericho. Well, we know that Jericho is in desperate need of a win. Big losses to the Intercontinental Champion in his Intercontinental Championship opportunity. A big loss as well at WrestleMania. Jericho needs this one, and he's going to go one-on-one with Lance Storm here tonight. A great technical wrestler. And I have to emphasise, Lance Storm is not over the hill by any means. His choice to retire is a personal decision to spend time with his family. He is very capable of causing a big issue. Former Cruiserweight champion, former ECW television champion. An incredible athlete. And Jericho's going to have his hands full tonight here on Raw, live from Florida. Of course, if you haven't purchased a ticket for Backlash, you can do that at WWE.com. It is Jack.com. It is the grand price of free $99, so welcome. And of course, Backlash will have a kickoff show, so that will be exclusive to members. We'll have a match announced on that very shortly. The Backlash kickoff show coming to you live the day before Backlash. Of course, Backlash will be available for members 24 hours earlier than public release. For just a small price of 99 cents, you can join the channel memberships and get yourself involved with the exclusive early access. Well, I imagine this content is going to be is going to be a bit of a technical showcase of the excellence, and we're going to start off here with a collar and elbow tie-up. Because these two men met in WCW all them years ago, over 5 years ago now. Lance Storm there just celebrating, and that might be a bit naive here from Jericho, and of course the choice from Lance Storm to retire, excuse me, I'm too excited, for ECW One Night Stand. That is an interesting, he wants to retire there, but he wants to get a couple of big victories, he said, before going into that. He wants the ring rust minimum. Of course, he has his own wrestling school as well. He wants to focus on that. Look at the strength here of Lance Storm. Incredible athlete. Former team member of the Un-Americans with Test and Christian, the current Intercontinental Champion. It looks like Christian hasn't cleaned up his act at all since then. Still as big as a jackass as he was back then. Lance Storm tried to go back to his roots and be more of a traditional, acceptable wrestler. Let's just say that. Nice reversal here from Jericho. And Jericho is in absolute dire need of a victory here. Lance Storm, who's been wrestling in Japan over the last couple of years, has been doing an incredible job of diversifying his wrestling resume, wrestling inside the WWE and outside in Japan. We don't know what the matches will be. A little bit of a collision here from these two. Normally, not used to like a messy affair with these two athletes, and a nice neck breaker from Jericho. Creates separation. Of course, ECW One Night Stand will be coming to you very shortly. It's an exhibition, and it's for one night only. Stars and former stars of ECW Extreme Championship Wrestling will contest and compete against each other and members of WWE. But before that, we've got the SmackDown. We've got Backlash, of course, coming to you this weekend in Universe. Not this weekend in real life. And we've also got Judgment Day, which is hosted by SmackDown. And that's going to be a very interesting one. Nice pile driver there from Lance Storm, dropping Jericho on his head. And these two will be very, very familiar with each other, by the way. Of course, had multiple contests back in WCW. I've had a couple of matches in WWE as well. Of course, neither of them were the complete package like they are now. And that suplex, I think I heard Lance Storm's leg scrape off the announcer's desk there. Jericho started this match off good. You got to remember that Jericho's on a bit of a losing streak here. He needs to pick up some momentum. We don't want to see him tantruming like Christian in 2002. Don't know if my roster budget will stretch to bring DDP back, to bring that motivation back. Jericho now going to go to the top rope. Lance Storm groggy in the middle of the ring. Jericho with a crossbody, and that's beautifully executed there from Y2J. Kick out there from 2.5 from Lance Storm. Lance Storm was very vocal about this matchup, this contest that he was having on Raw. He wanted the Lionheart, not the Y2 Jackass, that's what he said. Nice neck breaker there from Storm. Both of these men down center of the ring. It's going to take a big move to shift the tide. Both men getting a bit of offense in now and again. Chipping away. Nice armbar here from Lance Storm. This isn't something we traditionally see in a WWE contest, the submission wearing down. But it's smart work here from the Canadian. He's going to escape. Jericho's going to escape. He doesn't want to get that armbar cinched in on him, because that could be an early night for Jericho and a clothesline from Y2J. And of course, we're talking about the Intercontinental Championship division. Former Intercontinental Champion, these two both were. Jericho, of course, setting his sights elsewhere. He believes he should be the world champion again, the World Heavyweight Championship. He told me that's the goal. Of course, we know this weekend at Backlash, Shelton Benjamin will get another opportunity against Captain Charisma, who's decided not to turn up to work today for some reason. Nice neck breaker from Jericho there. Captain Charisma talking a lot of smack when he's with Tyson Tomko on the WWE.com podcast about how Shelton Benjamin never deserved the WWE Intercontinental Championship. I can tell you one thing about Shelton Benjamin: he held that title for over 6 months. That's no rookie, and a stomp here to the midsection. Or sorry, should I say a kick? And Storm showed veteran instinct here. Of course, a multiple-decade wrestler is Lance Storm now, been in the business since the 80s, I believe. A nice shot to the middle of that rope. That's a lawn dart, if ever I've seen one. And a pinfall attempt here on Jericho. Because I would have loved Lance Storm to go over to SmackDown and compete for that Cruiserweight Championship. I think that would have been a very interesting arc. And a leg drop there from Lance Storm to Y2J. The question begs, is this the last time? Oh, look at the incredible moves here. And that's a Boston Crab. And maybe tries to bridge into a wall of Jericho here. Mind games. Jericho caught slipping. And if anybody's an expert at not getting hit by that, it's Jericho. So it's testament to how good Lance Storm is. Reversal from Jericho. He doesn't want to get caught in that lion tamer. Oh, that walls of Jericho. A code breaker from Jericho. Got to be careful not to get caught with them knees to the face. That'll bust your nose open, and a kick out from Storm just. Jericho's trying to throw caution into the wind and trying to throw everything. And it's not enough. Lance Storm, super kick, might have knocked that beard, that stupid goatee that Jericho has grown. Into the corner, Lance Storm is starting to build a little bit of momentum here, and that begs the question that I was going to mention earlier, could this be Lance Storm's last WWE match? What the hell's he got in mind here? He's throwing everything at it. Oh my word, what a wonderfully executed move that was. Pinfall attempt here on Jericho, and a kick out from Jericho. Crowd chanting, this is awesome. It's not the most high-flying, it's not the most false finishing, but it certainly is a technical masterclass from both of these Canadian wrestlers right here tonight on Monday Night Raw, live from Florida. Because every show is sold out here in 2005. It's a very interesting dynamic when Raw is not war anymore, and it is since the change in brand, the change in sort of look upon WWE Raw. What the hell's Jericho going for here? An elbow drop from the middle rope. Since the change in brand, there was a bit of uncertainty surrounding the world of professional wrestling following the departures of Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. I can say that the gentlemen that have been left behind, certainly the likes of John Cena and Batista, lovely German suplex, have picked up the mantle and are taking this company forward. Kick out 2.5 there from Jericho. Lance Storm now starting to build some momentum, and it would be great to see him pick up a victory here. And I wish he'd change his mind on that retirement. And Jericho saying, whatever you can do, I can do better. A German suplex here from Y2J, and a kick out from Lance Storm. Now we are going to continue the match. Sleeper hold here from Chris Jericho. Lance Storm is in trouble. Jericho's got it cinched in. Don't let him drop onto his back, because that is where it gets nasty, and a jawbreaker from Storm, and it had to be. Lance Storm is a veteran. I don't need to tell him how to escape that hold, and a sweep of the legs there from Jericho. Oh boy. And now it's over. Lion Tamer, walls of Jericho. He's centre of the ring as well. He's going to have to tap out. Referee checking. Lance Storm's trying to hold on for dear life, and he can't anymore. That submission is absolutely deadly. Well, back to winning ways for Y2J, and I'm sure you Jerichoholics out there are going to be happy about that. Jericho's goal is the World Heavyweight Championship. He is staying with the WWE, despite many people thinking that he would leave. His goals are long-term. It's this Lion Tamer right here in the centre of the ring that does the job. Jericho now celebrating with the WWE Universe. And the victory for Jericho, proving exactly why he is the man. Oh, wait a second, something's off here. There's a gentleman in the crowd. That is Sabu. The hell? Stop sign to the head of... What the hell's going on? We need some security out here. Sabu now firing away at Chris Jericho. Sabu is not a WWE wrestler. A former ECW superstar. He is the homicidal. He is the genocidal Sabu. What the hell's he got in mind here? Why the hell is he here? Jericho now doesn't even know what day it is, by the way. Oh my god. Arm drag there from Sabu. What the hell's he got in mind here? Oh no, onto the stop sign. Bulldog onto the stop sign from Sabu. I haven't personally seen Sabu since he was in WCW. The hell's he doing here? Oh no. Jericho bleeding like a stuffed pig. What the hell's Sabu got in mind here? Oh my word. Oh my god, he will use his body as a weapon, and that's for sure. Jericho left laid out in sunny Florida. With the ECW, former ECW superstar Sabu laying him out. You have to think the implications are that One Night Stand is soon, and what on earth does that mean for the WWE? Well, ECW has arrived.
You think you know me?
Well, we're going to get into our main event now, folks. No wasting time, no big commercial breaks. We are going on the straight and narrow, the home stretch. It's Edge, and it is Trish Stratus versus Lita and Kane. You know the stakes. Edge and Lita, Edge and Trish, if they win, Lita will not ever be able to compete for that women's championship. If Edge does win, he'll pick the stipulation against Kane. Vice versa, if Lita and Kane can pick up the victory, Kane will pick the stipulation, which will be announced on the community post. So make sure that you do have notifications on and you're always checking them. Lita will get a shot at Backlash at the WWE Women's Championship. Well, here comes the WWE Women's Champion. And the fate of whether she will or won't have to defend against Lita at Backlash on Sunday the 9th of August is going to be decided right here, right now. And of course, the rules of a mixed tag team match that once the gentlemen are tagged in, it is a gentleman's only affair. Once the ladies are tagged in, it's a ladies only affair. And I know that that's exactly how that Lita and Kane will want this. They want to get their hands on the respective opponents. Edge looks like he's seen a ghost. The big red machine is live and in living colour in Florida. He does not look like a happy bunny. Well, we can just enjoy this theme song together, because I'm definitely going to shut up when it drops. Well, due to copyright, I can only play that much, but I hope you guys did enjoy hearing Slow Chemical. Here comes what could potentially be the #1 contender, or the back of the line, never to contend again. Here comes the Mrs. Extreme, Mrs. Kane actually, them two engaging in a marriage. I don't know quite on the legalities of that marriage, but the husband and wife, Lita and Kane, they're in a tag team contest tonight in our main event of Monday Night Raw, but it isn't the final stretch of Raw. We have the contract signing between Triple H and Batista. That is coming up to you shortly after this match. And we're underway as Kane approaches. Look at Edge tagging out straight away like a coward. Now Lita's going to go after Trish Stratus, who runs into a barrage. And it looks like Lita's a bit frustrated with Edge. But she does manage to realign her attention on the women's champion, and a nice move there from Lita and an elbow drop to boot. This one's going to be an interesting contest, folks. A lot on the line between these four. Everybody in this contest has something to gain and something to lose. Irish whip now into the corner, tagging in Kane. And Lita knows her husband wants to get his hands on Edge, the Rated R superstar, who is the Mr. Money in the Bank. We haven't seen that briefcase for a while. Excuse me. Hope Edge is keeping it somewhere safe. Of course, I am just going to reaffirm, I know a lot of you know, but the Money in the Bank briefcase is a very precious thing introduced at WrestleMania 21. Gives Edge the opportunity to cash in on the World Heavyweight Champion, or the champion on Monday Night Raw, at any time of his choosing. It is not a Money in the Bank briefcase that you can go over to the blue brand and cash in. John Cena's safe for now. And maybe a forearm to Kane might only anger the big red machine more, and a DDT sending Edge to the mat. And I think if you're Edge, it's not really about a game plan to beat Kane, it's about surviving. And if I was in Edge's shoes, I'd let the ladies fight out, and look at the strength of Kane. He Irish whipped Edge into the ropes there, looking for a return, but he's just that strong that he threw Edge to the outside. Now Edge is going to fight back. The Rated R Superstar been on a roll since winning the Money in the Bank briefcase. But at Backlash Sunday the 9th of August, he's going to have a big red machine to deal with. And now he's running away. And Kane's going to chase him. And there's a little bit of confusion there, a collision. And a big uppercut. You're not escaping yet, says Kane. And I will let you know that the kickoff show, the first kickoff show, with the match on the kickoff show will be Christian versus Shelton Benjamin for the Intercontinental title. The rest of the match card is on the main show, and there will be highlights available from that shortly after. So if you don't have a membership, don't worry, there will be highlights. Just want to give back to the guys that support the channel in that way and give them exclusive content that makes it worth paying 99 cents. I hope you guys understand that. And now Lita and Trish catches Lita there as she comes into the ring, and an elbow drop there. Trish Stratus here, the women's champion. Let's have a look at the list. Let's go down the list of women that Trish has defeated, defending that WWE Women's Championship. Jacqueline, Jazz, Christy Hemme, Lita. I mean, she didn't really beat Lita, did she? Kind of cheated to beat Lita. And Victoria 3 weeks ago on Monday Night Raw. That's an all-star studded late line of women, because we haven't seen Jacqueline since that loss. Hopefully she's going to come back soon, even if it's for a short stint. And a big knee to the face there of Lita. Still under contract with the WWE, Jacqueline, for a couple of more years, so it'd be a shame to see her wasted, but of course we know that she's taking the time away from the WWE right now. Russian leg sweep here from Trish Stratus, and now some punches to Lita. That'll do Lita's dental records no favours, them punches. And Trish just not happy here with the Florida crowd, and she's going to gloat and showboat in their face. She doesn't give a damn about anything, doesn't Trish Stratus? She's made that very clear. 100% satisfaction every time you see her in the ring. She says that she's everybody's first crush. Well, I mean, I'm a professional entity in this company. I can't really comment on that, but be interested to know in the comments, who was your first WWE crush, man or woman? Was it Trish Stratus? Now an Irish whip here to Lita, and Trish is starting to push the pace here. A nice spine buster there from Trish Stratus. That's a tribute to what we're going to see up next, Batista. Lita and Trish now. And you have to think the conniving tactics of Edge and Trish Stratus, they've been worming their way through the weeks. A pinfall here attempted on Lita. Kick out there from Lita. Trish Stratus trying to push the pace. She's going to just taunt the big red machine now. She knows for a fact that if Kane lays his hands on Trish Stratus, that he will be disqualified. You know, the stipulation for Edge or Kane, what are they going to pick? You have to think that if Edge wins, it's probably going to be something involving a ladder. If Kane wins, I don't talk about the stipulation. I pray for Edge. I pray for Edge in any kind of match against the big red machine. And now the men are the legal compatriots. Kane now runs kitchen sink. Edge was unaware. He was too busy looking at Lita. Kane will be aggressive here. And this is the thing about Kane. 300 pounds, 7 foot tall, and can fly like a cruiserweight. Edge is in trouble here. Surprised Lita didn't help him out. Huge clothesline. Edge telegraphs he don't want to get hit by that, and a drop kick taking down the big red machine. Of course, Kane has been very vocal, especially in conversation with Lita about his aspiration. We talked about Jericho, that World Heavyweight Championship currently held by Batista. Kane has been very vocal about his desires to become a WWE World Champion again, because he's not held the championship since the Attitude Era. It's a real shame. It seems like such a missed opportunity for Kane. And a snake eyes there from the Rated R Superstar taking down the big red machine. tag team offense again. This time from the team rated R. And I know for a fact that Lita does, Trish Stratus does not want to lose this match. She does not want to face Lita again after the last time they met. It resorted to Trish getting herself disqualified, keeping the championship. A bulldog here from Trish. Lita had a beat, and I think that Trish knows that, and I think that's why she's avoiding facing Lita again. There'll be a lot of pressure. I'm sure she's had words, and now Edge going to go after the Big Red Machine, who was, obviously with his size and strength, it takes him a little bit more time than the Rated R superstar to get into the ring. Oh boy, execution, laying out husband and wife next to each other. Kick out, not even one from Kane. Now Edge is arguing with Lita. He's telling her to come on. He knows that she can't lay a hand on him. He knows, sorry. He's just going to gloat in the face of Lita. Of course, Lita's husband Kane getting back to the feet. Edge is a very, very naive, stupid man to think that the Big Red Machine, and Lita there with a cheap shot to Edge. The Big Red Machine will follow that with a sidewalk slam. Edge could be in trouble if Kane starts pulling up that glove or no. He's looking for the choke slam. The Rated R superstar could be in trouble. The punch there from Lita, and a spear from Edge. He didn't get all of that though. Lita trying to separate, trying to wear down Edge to enable the chokeslam, but she does actually save Kane from the pinfall. I have to wonder. Edge's spear is more effective with more distance. That was a point blank range spear. Now he's looking for something else. What the hell's he got in mind now? Edge might be lining up another spear. He's gonna show. Oh god! And the Big Red Machine doesn't even know where he is after being hit with that spear. Edge is spending so much time showboating, not enough time focusing, and Kane is back to his feet. The thing is, Kane is not ordinary human being. One choke slam ain't gonna do it. One spear, sorry, ain't gonna do it anyway. Leg drop there from Kane. And I don't know if showboating is wise, because it seems like the Big Red Machine is only angry. And I mean, Kane, I don't think I've ever seen him in a neutral state, but he's the most dangerous man on the roster. But when you anger him, he's even worse. The DDT from Kane, both men down. Effects of that spear clearly showing on the Big Red Machine. He's going to stumble back to his feet. I want to tag in Lita here. He is going to do that. Edge is laid out in the ring. Now Trish and Lita are going to meet again. Oh, and Trish with trying to wake up Edge with a kick to the knee. He was actually laid out unconscious. I think Trish was trying to get him and went for the Trish kick and missed. And Lita had to wait. Trish Stratus waking up Edge there because he was just absolutely laid out. A reversal here from Trish to the outside. This is not going to get pretty late, folks. Trish maybe felt she couldn't do it without Edge. That's maybe why she woke him up with that kick. Because he wasn't moving before that. I'm not surprised. Into the ring we go. I wonder what happens. I wonder what Bischoff will do in the case of it. Look at Trish just in front of Kane. His wife is in trouble. She's getting back to her feet now. Lita is as tough as they come. Went for a double axe handle, missed. Caught. Now half twist of fate neck breaker. Taking Edge to the outside. Oh wow, what is Lita going for here? Edge scurries out the way. Lita tried to land with the Hurricane on Edge there. And Trish gonna surprise Kane. The dirty, underhanded tactics of Edge and Trish Stratus. Well, to be honest, I didn't expect anything less from these two, Trish and Edge. Kane wasn't paying attention in a shot to the nether regions, let's just say. It took Kane off the edge of the ring apron. If he can find his reproductive organs, he can get back to the side of the ring, and that's exactly what he's done. Of course, Kane would never put his hands on a lady, at least in my opinion. And there you go, Trish missed again with that Stratusfaction kick. Lita with a Hurricane. And I can hear the Big Red Machine is absolutely screaming for a tag. Lita now taking Edge to the outside. What the hell's she got in mind? Going for the moonsault, and Trish rolls out the way. That is a bad move from Lita. And Trish might take advantage here. Roll-up pin here from the WWE Women's Champion. The moonsault was short and a kick out. And now we're going to continue the action. Lita and Trish putting it all on the line. A sidewalk slam tribute to the hubby from Lita. Trish. Lita was looking for the moonsault again. What the hell she got in, man? You're not going to reach that. Misses. Going for a senton bomb on Edge and a drop kick. Lita was wide of the mark. What the hell is she doing to Edge here? Oh my God. And Edge just escapes it. And of course Edge will know not to put his hands on Lita. But it seems like she cannot. And oh wait a second. Oh, what the hell has she got in mind? Lita's going to observe and... Sorry, Trish is going to observe and Lita with a Hurricane to Edge. Not aware that Trish is just waiting for her and a Trish kick. Kane cannot get involved here. And a kick out from Lita. Lita too distracted by Edge. I don't know what on earth she would do it, jumping from the top rope to the outside and missing, by the way. And a Trish kick nearly did the job. Lita's going to check... Trish, checking on Edge. Lita's just laid out in the corner. Edge still down. And Trish is asking for the medical staff to come down for Edge. This has to be a strategy. Lita's in the ring. Now both of these ladies are going to argue. Trish is not happy. Oh, wait a second. No messing around from Lita. She's done with words. Trish was trying to call for the medical staff from Edge, who somehow miraculously made a recovery. Spinebuster from Trish. Now Lita could be in trouble. Trish Stratus is looking for 100% satisfaction. A chop there. I thought she was going to go for a kick. Edge is in the ring now. Lita maybe feels that Edge can grab Kane and a clothesline as Kane gets in the ring from the Rated R superstar. Might be lining up that spear now. Might be lining up something big. Spinning heel kick from Edge. He's trying to wear down the big red machine. This is a good tactic here from the Rated R superstar. Now that he's got Kane's guard down, maybe he can wear down the big... No, maybe not. Maybe he's a stupid idiot. And I'm a bit confused in the strategy there. I thought Trish had Lita beat. A huge uppercut there. I think his vocal cords. I don't think Edge will be doing much talking after the amount of uppercuts he's taken. Another DDT from the big red machine. Now he just stares down Trish Stratus. And he's telling Trish Stratus exactly what he's going to do to Edge now. What is he going to do to Edge? Oh boy. Sidewalk slam to Mr. Money in the Bank. And only one thing happens after this. Edge is in trouble. Kane, choke slam. All the way to hell. And he's going to tag in Lita. Lita, Trish is the last saving bastion of this team. Lita catches her with a Hurricane. Now's your time, Lita. Go win the match. And Trish gets back to her feet. She knows that Lita's looking for that moonsault. What a match this has been, folks. What a contest. I can't call it. So much at stake. Lita now with the reversal. Another Hurricane to Trish. Edge is groggy on the edge. He's been taken to the outside. Go to the top rope, Lita. Win the match. The women's champion is spent. Lita with the moonsault. And Lita and Kane, husband and wife, win. Well, it wasn't the most technically gifted match. It wasn't so clean, but it was a bit scrappy at times, but Lita will face Trish Stratus at Backlash for the WWE Women's Championship and find out in the community posts what Kane will pick for the stipulation. But we're going to waste no time, folks. Now, a little bit of information here. The contracts have officially been signed between these two backstage. This is the last confrontation between these two gentlemen. And I cannot emphasize, I can't put into words how much the hatred between these two is real. Triple H and Batista are going to go face to face, and there is a man on the outside the ring, the Raw General Manager Eric Bischoff, who has to officiate this one. And I mean, how much of a influence is he going to have if these two want to go at each other? Not much, I don't think. Well, we said it on episode 1. The Cerebral Assassin doesn't look right without the World Heavyweight Championship. And at Backlash on Sunday, the 9th of August, in your main event, Triple H and Batista will go one-on-one for the second time. The World Heavyweight Championship will be on the line, but the question remains, can the Cerebral Assassin beat the Animal? Well, Triple H has claimed it was one good night for Batista. He's great every night. Time to prove it. Batter up. But tonight is about one last war of words. One last message to your opponent before you step into the ring at Backlash. I mean, Triple H, for whatever you think about him, whatever I think about him, an incredible wrestler, one of the greatest of all time, in my opinion. 10-time world champion here. He's looking to make that 11. And this coming Sunday, 9th of August, he might be able to do that. He said all it takes is 1 second, all it takes is one pedigree. And I'm inclined to agree after he left Batista laid out on that announcer's desk after pedigreeing through it last week. Both of these men have had an exchange in a brawl where they've come out on top. But none of that matters once Sunday the 9th of August clocks in. Once the clock ticks and it's ring walk time, none of that matters. Well, since separating from Ric Flair and Triple H in Evolution, Batista has been on a warpath of his own, defeating Randy Orton on the first episode of Monday Night Raw following WrestleMania 21 showed how dominant he can be, and now Randy Orton's got a day with destiny with the showstopper. Batista is the World Heavyweight Champion, and I don't share the thoughts of Randy Orton when he said it makes him sick to his stomach to see Dave Batista, the Animal, as the World Heavyweight Champion. I'm goddamn proud that Batista's grown some balls and left Evolution and left that jerk Triple H and gone on his own path and proven to the world and himself that he was always the best in Evolution. Ladies and gentlemen, the contracts for the World Heavyweight Championship match at Backlash have been signed. This is the final face-to-face confrontation before Sunday the 9th of August. Triple H, last words for Batista. Batista, you were great for one night at WrestleMania. And that's all you've got. You're a flash in the pan, a temporary champion, and at Backlash, I'm going to prove that you were never ready to be the World Heavyweight Champion. All it takes is 1 second and one move. You are scared of that one move, the pedigree, and you should be, because when it hits at Backlash, you're going to realise that one good night doesn't make you a legend, it just makes you lucky. Look at you, Triple H, standing there in the suit like this is some kind of business meeting and I'm dressed to fight because I'm the Animal, I'm unleashed and I'm uncaged. I've already beaten you once and I'm done talking. At Backlash, I'm going to do it again. There's nothing you can do to stop me. You can call me a flash in the pan, but at Backlash, you're going to be permanently in the pan when I cook your ass. I'm the World Heavyweight Champion, and I'm going to stay the World Heavyweight Champion. Keep telling yourself that, Batista. But when we get into that ring at Backlash, you're going to find out exactly why I'm the game and why you were never meant to hold that title for long. You should disconnect your controller and not even try to play the game. We'll see about that, Triple H. This Sunday, the 9th of August, I'm going to tear you apart. I'm going to tear you limb from limb. I'm going to leave you lifeless on that canvas and prove to everybody why I'm the Animal. But as for the talking, I'm just about done with that. So let's get into the fighting. Oh God, and Batista wasn't joking. A huge clothesline to the Cerebral Assassin. And Eric Bischoff just stands there helpless. I mean, what is he meant to do? And these two are going to go at it. Hammer and tongue, tooth and cheek. Triple H now firing away on Batista in the corner. You might have to wait from Sunday the 9th of August to get a definitive result here. Eric Bischoff just looks on and Triple H telling Bischoff to suck it. And Batista's back with a bulldog. The Animal's unleashed. He's uncaged and Triple H might have let him off the leash. Batista now might be looking for a big move. A belly to belly here from Dave Batista. Triple H now trying to run like a scalded dog, but he's not going to get very far. And you just knew when this contract signing, or this final showdown, whatever you want to call it, was going to happen, it was not going to end in kisses and roses. Triple H now going to work on Batista, backbreaker to the Animal. He's going to fire away here at Batista. Maybe trying to wear down his opponent before Backlash Sunday the 9th of August. What the hell's Triple H got in mind? I thought he was going to leave the ring there and he's going to continue to beat the World Heavyweight Champion to a pulp. Looks like Triple H has got the upper hand. Finally, this jackass is leaving. You could have said, oh no, oh God, no, the sledgehammer's in hand. Bischoff finally intervenes. Throws it outside the ring. Triple H doesn't like that. He's telling that's the general manager of Monday Night Raw, and Batista sweeps the legs. Wait a second, what's Batista going for now? He might be looking at the sledgehammer now. Triple H might regret getting that sledgehammer, and Triple H is quick and he's aware. He doesn't want to get hit by that sledgehammer. I don't blame him, to be fair. Now a back body drop there from the game. The Cerebral Assassin with a sledgehammer in hand with his own toy. And Batista is in trouble. Sledgehammer shot to the gut. And another one for good measure. And if Triple H hits these kind of moves, a spinebuster. Eric Bischoff's getting back in the ring. He doesn't even know what day it is. He's trying to get rid of the weapons. He doesn't actually know that he's used it. And now Triple H is looking for it. And if he hits this move at Backlash, it is game over. Batista obviously not happy with Bischoff either for removing that sledgehammer. But the game walks away from Florida with the World Heavyweight Champion wounded, the World Heavyweight Champion vulnerable. And will the game win number 11?